Hey guys, Brandon with Whiskey River. So this is our 30C heritage handle. This has got a really nice palm swell on it. It's turned out 8 quarters, so it's almost 2 inches wide when it's finished. And these have a really tall neck on them, so you can hang a jersey or a Connie, Tazzy, and we're gonna hang a racing axe today on this just for fun. So this is made out of a historic handle that pattern that we found, and we did a video on this previously showing details, so like check that out. And we're super excited to have these on the website. We've done a couple drops at the time of this video of them on the website. They're pretty hard to get, but if you sign up for our newsletter, we will let you know when we get them in stock. So anyway, I'm gonna hang this. We've got a Purple Heart wedge. Every axe that ships from our warehouse comes with a poplar wedge, but then you're able to upgrade in our wedge section for premium wedges. So we've got a variety of different exotic woods for that. A couple tools. We're doing this really basic here, nothing fancy. A lot of guys have really fancy shops to do this, but we don't, and that's okay, because a lot of you guys at home are just doing this, you know, some of you are doing this in your apartment. So just know that you don't need a fancy shop to do this. So let's start with, I've got a farrier's rasp. This is rough on one side, smoother on the other, and a little section you put your palm. This is for farriers who shoe horses. It works great for stock removal of wood and such. We've got a draw knife here. This one is just a vintage draw knife I've had laying around, and works really great. A mallet. This is a rawhide mallet. You'll want to use a wooden mallet and something with a pretty big face on it. If you're using a framing hammer or something like that, you run the risk of not hitting it completely flat and actually breaking the handle out. And then we've got a pull saw. This is just a Japanese pull saw. This is from Harbor Freight. Super cheap. It's got a fine tooth and an aggressive tooth. So these are super handy to have around. You can buy the name brand stuff and they're a little bit more expensive, but if you're looking for a budget friendly one, Harbor Freight's where it's at. And then of course the head. This is a China. Yeah, it's got a hole for the roll pin. It's got a full-sized eye. Nothing real fancy. It's just a head we had laying around that I'd like to get hung and see what it's all about. And we might as well hang it on a front handle. So we're obviously not competing with it, so it's just is what it is. So yeah, this is a 31-inch long handle. After it's all hung, you know, you're hanging it pretty far down on there. You'll probably lose an inch off the top. So anyway, we're gonna get started. I've got this vise here. I guess I forgot to mention this. This is Vice Guard. We sell this online on the website in the miscellaneous section. So this is great for protecting your handles against the jaws of your vise. So this is just a little workbench vise. We're gonna get started. So just gonna see, as you see, this handle is actually really already goes in there a decent amount. We're gonna have to take some off the sides, off the back it looks like, and it's just going around and looking at what you need to remove and removing it and trying it again. So here we go. Switch to this farrier's rasp and just see if we can clamp this in more. Just pulling a little bit off the sides there. It's a little bit will do, kind of, a little bit at a time with this stuff. Kind of look down in the top. If you shine the light through, you can see where the pinch points are of that handle. Jump on that. I know this rasp doesn't seem like it's taking a lot off, but it's impressive on how much this chews material off when you get it going. It's a lot of back and forth with this. On, off, on, off. In this case, we're going to take a bunch off the back. Flatten that out a little bit here. Yeah, that's slipping in there pretty good. Let's see. So it's curling in the front here. So we're gonna have to take some off the back, get that head rocked back, or rocked back forward, and we'll come back down the eye section again. We should be close to the handle popping out the top, which is pretty cool. This is always the fun part. It's getting this back and forth. Especially on this heavy of a head, this is like, you don't want to drop it. But surely. Oh, we know we're going to get a tight hang. Luckily this edge is not that sharp on this axe, so we're not like too worried about cutting ourselves, but you do want to make sure that you don't protect that edge, or protect yourself from that edge if you're working on something that's super sharp. Hey guys, so this handle's obviously stuck, you saw that. Super easy trick to get it out. A lot of people like want to use fancy drifts and a bunch of stuff like that. You don't really need to do that. This is a carriage bolt. Just round it off, put it in upside down like this, in the top of the head. Rest it on the side of the workbench like that. It's still in there, but it's coming. There's our handle. There's our head. So, just a really simple thing. You don't have to use a carriage bolt, but you know, they're rounded so they don't damage the top of the head too bad, the handle too bad. So, alright, we're gonna continue going here and keep taking some material away. This looks worse, this looks bad as you go. It's not gonna look pretty the whole time. Instagram shows it pretty, but when you're building stuff, it looks bad until the end. So be patient with the process. You just want to mirror whatever you do on this side, you do on this side. And something that Roy of Vintage Axe Works mentions is that you do it in quarters. So this side, you just keep knocking your corners off. So if you're doing this and you decide, or I guess you got a square and you knock this corner, and then there's going to be a little bit of a ledge. Knock that corner, knock that corner. It keeps it symmetrical, and then you don't lose your hang as far as side to side. As far as these rasps go, too, NC Tool Co. is a huge supplier for farrier tools. Otherwise, we have Centaur Forge, which is just local here actually, but a national company that ships horseshoe farrier supplies all over the country. So you can pick one of these up for, I don't know, 20 bucks. I'm gonna get sides off of this a little bit. You can see there's a black mark on that head, or on that handle, and that's where the head was actually contacting, so that's pretty neat. Slide the head on, you can see where it's rubbing, sand that off. Try it again. There we go, we're getting a little further on. That's looking better. That's almost, it's honestly almost where it needs to be. This is a 6 pound probably, right around a 6 pound head. So you want to have it hang proud, come out the top. Your wedge is going to flare this out over the top, and it's kind of like you see with chairs and such when they're wedged together. That's just like another locking mechanism for that handle. This handle's hanging really well in this head. You're not seeing any crazy ninja shelves around the outside where it's tapered in and curled over on the sides. We got a little curling in the front, but it's super minimal. Pretty easy to step it down with a razor blade. So I think we're really close to, I'm gonna do a couple more taps on it, but I think we're really close to cutting this and getting ready for a wedge. Yeah. Looks sharp. All right, so I'm gonna cut this off. This is standing proud, I don't know, 7/8 of an inch, which is a little too much for the wedge. You want it to finish out where it's about 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch proud, and just getting the extra material out of the way so it's not in your way when you're setting the wedges is a good idea. So we're gonna get the silky saw out here. We're gonna I'll flip this over for us here so it's not too hard. There we go, so that's a little bit more manageable for overhang, how proud it is. So we'll clean that up once we get the wedge in. So these wedges are, this is a double bit wedge here. So it's a little bit, it's obviously a lot longer than what we need, but that will spread the top of this handle out and lock it in. So we're gonna find ourselves a pencil here. We're gonna mark this wedge where we need to cut it. Right there. Then we're gonna cut it off and see how it looks. So if you know anything about purple art, it's super hard. It's also, that's not a good testament for this saw because it is a ripping cut where it's going with the grain. But we got our wedge cut. See what it looks like. There we go. Yeah. So we're ready to bang that in. There's one thing that I'd like to mention with this before we go. These are left with a little bit of they don't come to an exact point. And we do that on purpose so that they don't break in shipping because they become brittle if you don't leave a little bit at the end there. So if you are really worried about that, you can sand that. You can take a palm sander, hand sander, you can sand this wedge to be an exact point. But this one looks pretty good and is honestly gonna be all right for this tool. So this is where it doesn't look great, right? And it can go sideways really fast. This is the last step, so messing it up is not a good thing. So I usually put the handle, the palm swirl of the handle on the ground. I give it some light taps to get that wedge started. And then and you can hear it change. Honestly, like you can hear it go doop 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 doop, and then all of a sudden it hits with a heavy blow. And so you know, you can hear that. It doesn't want to go in much further. And that's it. So now we just cut this wedge off and check it out, see what we got. So handle is clamped in, axe is clamped in, and we're gonna silky saw off the top of this and get it flush, cut the wedge off. So here we go. Dalton also wanted to point out, the cameraman wanted to point out that sometimes you got to be in awkward positions. I guess it's something about how I used to be a mechanic, so you're used to like contorting yourself to be be able to work on stuff. So that's why the awkward positions are okay around here. No one's judging you. You're in your own shop. Except the camera guy. So it's a little crooked, like this. We can take a sander, palm sander, do that here in a little bit. I'll try to find one. Hey guys, so we've got camp wax that we sell on our website. These come in 1, 2, and 5 ounce tins. It is beeswax based. So we're gonna go ahead and put some wax on the top of this. Vintage Axe Works style. Look at that rich color. That's what I like about purple art wedges. They almost look black once you get oil on them. So this stuff is great for handles. This is great for steel, leather, all that stuff. So you can go ahead and treat your axe with it. So anyway, yeah. So that's how to hang an axe on a heritage handle. If you guys are wanting one of these heritage handles, like I said before, previous in the video, head over to our website, and on the homepage there's a link. Click that link and you can sign up for our newsletter. We send out weekly newsletters with inventory updates, special offers, coupons, and just words from us. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned to the end of this video for some photographs of the vintage pattern, steel pattern that this handle came off of. So thank you for all your support, and be good.